श्रीलंका में हालात खराब हैं। अंदाजा आप इस बात से लगा सकते हैं कि हम इस वक्त अर्जुन रणतुंगा के आवास पर मौजूद हैं, वो शख्स जिन्होंने श्रीलंकाई क्रिकेट टीम को विश्व विजेता बनाया। इनके घर पर बिजली नहीं है, पंखा बंद है, पसीने से मैं भी नहाया हुआ हूं, पसीना अर्जुन रणतुंगा के चेहरे पर भी है। बात करेंगे रणतुंगा साहब से। सर, देयर इज नो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, so for how long there is no electricity, and how do you see the complete situation? People are protesting, there is fuel scarcity, essential commodities prices are high, people are demanding resignation of president. How do you see the whole situation, and what is your demand?
I think I'll keep the president's resignation to the last, but I will say people came onto the road for their needs. They didn't come to the roads asking for too many big things. They're asking for rice, milk powder for their children, gas to cook, maybe fuel. Most of the commodities have gone up almost double. We can see that at home. And the electricity is they are not there. The children are struggle to get into internet, maybe in the night for their studies. Even now in my office, that for the last, at least for 5 hours, we weren't able to work. So till 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the afternoon, we had to survive with whatever we have to do. So it's all about, even to give you a cup of tea, I don't have milk in my office. So you just need to have a plain tea and go. So these are the things we struggle. So people are asking for a basic thing. What has happened when this particular government came into power with a massive majority, they took it for granted. I think they never consulted the important people who knows the subject, and they all think that they are the best people to run this country. That is where we are heading now. We have already there, but if we don't do any changes, we are going to get into a mess. Why people are asking for the president to go? President is the head of the government. President is the head of the cabinet. So if they fail, I think when a team fails, captain has to go, not the players. Then only the players have to be changed. But generally, if the captain has been failing for so many matches, captain is the one who has to step down. So he need to take a decision without looking at their ministers, how to protect their ministers, how to give them another 2-3 years. It's not about that. He need to look at this particular country, his own country. It's not only our country, it's his country as well. I know that he was living in America, his brother was living in America, that's a different issue. But if he feels that if he can't handle it properly, might as well step down and maybe have a caretaker government for a shorter period, get some important people who can contribute, and maybe go for election. That's a solution I can see.
So, will changing the captain solve the problem? I want to know from you, because you have been in the government, you were petroleum minister earlier. We are seeing that fuel prices are high and there is scarcity of diesel especially. So what are the steps that needs to be taken to solve the problem? Apart from resigning. Resigning is a political demand, but the economic mess, how to solve this mess?
When you appoint a wrong captain, bad captain, you are getting into a mess. So the team will be suffering. So it has happened to our country.
What steps needs to be taken?
No, the steps is like you can take last 5 years. We never had a problem like that. We had a president and the prime minister who managed things, and they appointed ministers who could handle things. There were a couple of guys maybe might have not done what president and the prime minister expected and the people expected. But overall, we also had some issues, but it was never like this. And here it's all about how we can get out of this mess has to be the thing addressed. I saw the parliament yesterday, what they want. The opposition is trying to come into power. The government is trying to stay in power. It's not the thing we need. We need a solution to solve this problem out. Get people at least the basic thing they need. Not that they don't ask for major things. No, they're asking for small things. And if we can't provide them, I personally feel I'm so glad that I'm not in the parliament at 225. I'm glad that I couldn't get into the parliament, because then otherwise I should have been part of this mess. So that is where I personally feel we need to have a new concept where national policies have to be implemented rather than the party politics. I have been in different parties for the last 20 years in my political career. And I'm not blaming any of the parties. When a party comes into power, what they need to implement their own things. But no one looked at what country needs. That is a national policy should be implemented. National group has to be come in, and the young ones has to come into politics. It's the same old people who has been running this country. The ministers are over 70, 80 years, and the president, maybe the leaders are the same. But we need the younger generation to come in. Don't blame, because these people are appointed by the people who are on the road. So they are the ones who created this. Now that at least they have realized, so if we need a change, we have to pick the right people to run this country.
Two more questions. Debt of China and Corona, these two are counted as the major reasons for this current mess. According to you, what are the reasons that the situation arise and that Sri Lanka is facing today?
I think if you take Corona, we didn't handle Corona issue properly in the initial starter, and they were not looking at getting the injections quickly. But they handled it properly later. But I think the entire world went through the Corona issue, and all the other countries are doing pretty all right, apart from maybe one or two countries. But death for the last so many years, it didn't happen only these last 2 years. It has been happening for so many years. But I personally feel it's all about getting loans, how you manage loans. What I felt in the last 2 years, they have been taking loans to do development, they so-called development, where they are looking at doing the highways, doing the roads, giving the MPs money to develop areas. Those are good things, but unfortunately it's not the time to do that. We have to look at what we need and address those things first, and then look at the development later.
Last thing, as a neighbor, how do you see India's role in improving the conditions of Sri Lanka? India is helping. How do you see that?
I think India has already done that. India has given us a loan. They are looking, and I'm glad that they are watching how we spend the money. They have allocated something like 2.5 billion, but they have allocated 75% of them for fuel and medical issues. So those are the important thing, and even the food issues. So I think India has been a brother to us for so many years, whether it is the country or the cricket. So I'm sure that India will be there to help us. But we don't have to, if we are going to go and beg from each and every country every week, then we are not going to end up this mess. But we need to plan how we are going to get this money, spend the money. Major issue is to try and give these people a basic necessary things, and then we can go about it.
Last thing, sir, emergency have been lifted and we can see vehicles on road. How do you see future? Do you think situation will improve or will it deteriorate?
If they don't address it properly, I am told that we are heading the wrong way. But if they have to think of the country, not think of their own power, maybe their attitudes, maybe take a step back, look at the country, and take a decision, I'm sure that we might have to struggle a little bit, but still we can take the country into the next level.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. तो बिजली नहीं है, पंखा बंद है, पसीने में श्रीलंका के पूर्व क्रिकेट के कप्तान जिन्होंने श्रीलंका को विश्व विजेता बनाया, राजनीति की पारी भी अर्जुन रणतुंगा ने खेली, संसद सदस्य रहे, पेट्रोलियम मंत्री रहे, सरकार में मंत्री रहे, हालांकि फिलहाल पिछला चुनाव ये हार गए थे, इसकी वजह